I parked the truck and barely pulled the key out when I noticed something wrong. The front porch, our porch, had a new welcome mat. Not the worn one Clara picked out at the flea market 3 years ago. This one was crisp, bold, and smug, proclaiming harmony enforced in blocky letters like an HOA manifesto. I didn't buy that mat. Through the front window, I saw two men lounging like they owned the place. One sprawled in my armchair, Clara's dad's, old 1 feet up, eating pretzels straight from the bag. The other scrolled his phone like he was waiting for a pizza delivery. My wife, Clara, 8 months pregnant and fierce even when exhausted, stood on the porch steps, trying to calm Rex, our German shepherd, who was losing it. He barked like the world was ending. I stepped out, heading toward her. She gave me that weary smile, the one that said, "Not now, love." Before I could speak, a sharp, fake official voice cut through. "You're in violation of Section 12B. Immediate compliance required." I spun around. Two men had pulled up in a beat-up silver sedan, no plates, just a cheap flashing light on top. They wore polo shirts with HOA enforcement logos and cargo pants, like they'd raided a costume shop. No name tags, no badges, just the cocky swagger of people who'd never been told no. The wiry one stepped forward, gripping a makeshift baton wrapped in duct tape. The taller one had zip ties dangling from his belt like he fancied himself a sheriff. "Leash that dog, or it's a fine," he said flatly. Clara stood, shielding her belly instinctively. Rex growled, hackles up. I stepped in front of them, feet planted. "Who the hell are you?" I asked, voice steady as steel. The wiry one lunged without answering, grabbing Clara's arm and twisting. A crack, quiet but final. Her scream wasn't just pain, it was betrayal. She dropped to one knee, clutching her side, protecting our unborn son. I don't remember moving, but I was between her and them. Tom didn't slow, it stopped. They'd hurt her. These nobodies in fake uniforms, armed with nothing but audacity. No inspection, no warning, just force. Something snapped inside me. I reached for my phone, thinking to record, to build a case. Before the camera loaded, the baton swung not hard, but enough. My wrist stung, and my phone flew into the bushes. "Violation of Section 42A. The wiry one barked, like he was quoting scripture. "Unauthorized recording of an HOA enforcement officer." I laughed, bitter and low. "That's not a thing. You made it up." Clara was still, cradling her broken arm, tears streaming but silent. Her breathing was fast, her belly trembling, Liam kicking inside, feeling the chaos. "That did it." I locked eyes with the guy who hit me. "You touch my wife again, you'll lose that hand." He smirked. Behind me, Rex's growl rumbled like a storm. The taller man grabbed my collar. "Noncompliance with lawn maintenance codes. Unauthorized mailbox replacement. You're out of line. You're out of your damn mind." I shot back. He stepped back, opened their trunk, and pulled out plastic cuffs and a toy walkie-talkie. This wasn't random, it was rehearsed. They'd done this before. "You're under arrest," the wiry one announced, baton swinging lazily. His tone wasn't angry, just condescending, like I was a kid dodging bedtime. I raised my hand slowly, not surrendering, but calculating. My fingers found the Glock under my jacket, cool, familiar. I didn't think. I moved. I drew but didn't fire. Not yet. The air shifted. They froze. "I don't care what your fake badge says," I said. "This is private property. You broke her arm. She's carrying my son. You think this is a game?" The wiry one laughed. That was his last mistake with both legs working. The first shot cracked skyward, loud enough to jolt the neighborhood. A warning. The second hit his thigh. He dropped like a wet rag. The taller one bolted, but I grabbed his shoulder. He spun, hitting the gravel hard, wheezing. Rex lunged, clamping his jaws on the wiry one's leg. The man screamed, kicking, but Rex just growled deeper. I didn't kill them. I didn't want to. The gun was a message, not violence. By the time real sirens wailed, I was crouched beside Clara, tying a torn shirt around her arm to stop the bleeding. Her face was pale, but her eyes burned not with fear, but fury. "Tell them the truth," she whispered. "Don't hide." I nodded, but I knew I'd only tell enough. When the police SUV rolled up, cops stepped out, hands on belts, scanning the scene. I set the Glock down, hands up, and said, "They're not officers. No warrant, no ID. They attacked my wife. Look at her arm." They cuffed me anyway procedure bit, then dispatch crackled. The two men weren't HOA. One was wanted for extortion, the other had an open warrant from another county. The cuffs came off me. 3 weeks later, I sat in court, wearing the same boots from that day not for defiance, but to ground myself in where I stood when everything was at stake. The imposters wore orange jumpsuits, handcuffed to the table. Their lawyer rambled about volunteer patrols and misunderstandings, but the doorbell camera footage crushed their story. Every lie, every shout, every twist of Clara's arm was recorded. The judge, a woman who could spot nonsense from a mile away, declared them guilty without a flicker of emotion, just a gavel's thud. I didn't cheer or smile. I held Clara's hand, the one not in bandages, and nodded to myself. Justice, real justice, had happened on that porch. 2 months later, on a snowy morning, our son Noah was born. I held him by the fireplace, Rex snoring nearby, Clara smiling over a mug of tea. I felt something I hadn't since that day, pride. Not for the shots I fired, but for the line I didn't cross, the man I didn't become. I protected my family without losing myself. I kissed Noah's forehead and whispered, "Never let them define you, not even in a uniform." Because I'd learned badges can lie, laws can be twisted, but truth is what you stand for when no one else does. When that truth rings loud enough, people listen. If you face someone abusing power behind a badge, a title, or a boardroom table, share your story. Where did you draw your line? This isn't just my fight, it's ours. People like that only win when we stay silent. So don't.